I've lived here for almost 16 years, and this is the very first reading I've done in Tuscaloosa.
What?
Yeah, it is. Very first one. So, yay.
Is it legal?
No. All right, here we go. Kindred. You antichrist poets and sad bombers, you trumpeters, you fish out of water, you sharks and aardvarks, you with your souls in your hip pockets and your hearts in my head, you misbegotten, you clangers of joyful noise, you malcontent confectioners of undiscovered, mad, insouciant joy, you harbingers of delight, you fish heads and thieves, you dolts of pleasure and genius desire, you crazies, you punks, you conquering heroes, you simple prophets, you philanderers, you hawkers of sex dreams and spilled ambition, you with the burnt toast spleen of regret, you who love devoured, you who know the star's meaning and the distance between heart and hollow, you who are forever my brothers and sisters, you who are my loves, you who disregard my missed chances, you who offer books like bread and words like roses, you who make me weep, you are the flesh of the storm and the body of jitterbug gospel, and the map of all dimensions, and the lost tourist seeking direction, and the blessings and lights of the world. My hands in your hands, my blood in your veins, my children, your children, my embrace forever.
This is the truth. Each person is a mystery poet, but we mostly choose slumber. Cats and starlight try to nudge us awake, but we sleep so well, even through our hurricane dreams.
This cool green hour. Days when air holds you like an absent caress and trees stand like answers to unasked questions. Days when your cat is more wise than the Buddha and your dog doesn't care. Days when the coffee in your favorite cup tastes like joy and smells like laughter. Days when you no longer feel old and are braver by far than Christ. Days when the world blossoms in your hands and you can't even give it away. Days when children teach love and whisper the secret destiny of the world. Days when all rivers flow true and the stars know your meaning. Days like this one. Days when found paper scraps hold more light than Shakespeare. Days when your strength is certain. Days when the mountains of childhood are no longer vast, but you finally are. Days like that. Days like glazed donuts and red wine on the best afternoon in 1978. Days like Key West and cold beer. Days like a childhood friend somehow returned and whole and laughing. Days like right this second. Like this pen in my hand. Like the world daring me to breathe. Like a great rift in everything. Like magic. Days when I see your smiling eyes and know all the years are prologue. That you will hold me forever. And nothing ever, ever, ever ends.
In this life. The blank inside old keys, locks misplaced in the bright moon. We must allow ourselves odd hats and place signs where they might be seen by unknown family. Sometimes the dance is secret, like chipped pages from obscure 1950s magazines. Things we barely notice provide clues, but not everything fits. Though it is hard to forget the music of gone years, a face glimpsed once in unlikely circumstance, or that pulpy, mildewed smell.
Come wish. Angelic night, when you become the name, and the name is radiant. When we can finally tell our stories of who we might be. Angel dove night, rain after years of drought. All we need of time is stories where we are radiant, or could be. where we are angelic.
All right, this is a little bit of advice. It's called Something You Should Know. And it applies to all of us. The snakes in your house hide better than children. The snakes hide in your bed, flattened against the sheets, so you don't even know they are there. They hide in the milk and the cupboards. The snakes hate your routine, but work around it. The snakes eat your ice cream sandwiches and crawl on you as you sleep. They work with the spiders and rats and the dirty dishes in your dirty sink. They work with the shit in your toilet and the shit in your head. The snakes only want to love you after their snaky fashion. And you can't figure out what that means. The snakes wait for the right moment, and that could be never. And it is possible they will not strike, will not crush you. But either way, there is nothing to be done. The snakes aren't going anywhere, and neither, dear one, are you.
The necessary thing. Something beautiful in the world, like marshmallows and hot chocolate, or my children's laughter. Days of crisp light and air perfect for crying. A beauty that rips hours to shreds and finally shows the mystery clockwork inside all the days. Something beautiful like my good dog on the couch. Words like tulips. A knowing glance from a lovely stranger. The blessings of silence. Peace with her sweet caress. And no graves needed.
This one's called Might As Well. It might as well be love, but it is a cat instead. Pretty much the same. Sometimes it might as well be love, but it is a smile from a stranger in the supermarket buying the grapes you did not even consider until now. It might as well be a lifetime of joy, but it is the sun going down in the west, beyond the fading hawks and all the golden clouds. It might as well be sorrow, as the cat tires of your hand and shifts to a more comfortable aspect of her glory. It might as well be heaven, with God in tears on bended knee. It might as well be death, or the child inside your heart running for its life, aglow with all the stars, and just as fleeting.
My daughter, I thought, was coming with me tonight, and I was going to read this and embarrass her. She's not here, so she's embarrassed. It's called Responsibility of Eggnog. She still asks, and I usually say yes. Just now it was eggnog, and yesterday she wanted to bake a cake from scratch, the frosting too, which we did from cobbled recipes and conjured the best red velvet that could happen. And the frosting, against all odds, was delicious. But just now it was eggnog, and my young baker required I pour her drink, because that is still, for now, my job. And too soon she will forget to ask. A slight so easy to miss. The responsibility of eggnog, glittering small, is gold and quickly spent.
Alrighty, this one is called Fun in the Sun. Waking hungover beneath a hedge in Key West is better than it sounds. Waking in a hedge is fine, even if you're lost and the girl is gone. Waking in a hedge after searching all night. Waking in a hedge as the pelicans fly and the indifferent sun beats you down and happy people wander bright streets. Waking in a hedge before you find her and everything falls into place for just an hour. Waking in a hedge while you are alive and raging, stupid as a fish, and young enough to matter.
In this life. The blank inside old keys, locks misplaced in the bright moon. We must allow ourselves odd hats and place signs where they might be seen by unknown family. Sometimes the dance is secret, like chipped pages from obscure 1950s magazines. Things we barely notice provide clues, but not everything fits. Though it is hard to forget the music of gone years, a face glimpsed once in unlikely circumstance, or that pulpy, mildewed smell.
Anybody here like to just get in the car and drive, just go? It's about my favorite thing. I love driving. That's where this poem came from. It's called Glory. Old cars are best. Dusty roads leading nowhere special. A girl in cutoffs and blinding white tee. Your arm around her shoulders. Cold beer. Sunshine. Later stars. The broken face of the moon. You turn on the radio and it plays songs just for that moment. Songs you won't ever hear again in just that way. The world is dappled, twisting shadows, and nobody knows it better than you.
American Dream. Enter Bonnie and Clyde, stage left, or Babyface Nelson, maybe Pretty Boy Floyd, and stolen roadsters racing thug cops under crisp afternoon October skies. Every one of us ready to be riddled with bullets, everyone here for victory, and Tommy guns blasting pretty outlaws and point-blank refusal. West Texas sounds better than you might think, and maybe we'll make Arkansas by dawn if we keep our nerve. Drive on, cowboy. Sweat is all you need, and white-knuckled grit, like diamonds adorning the air, to stay alive tonight.
Alrighty, this one's called Another Couple. He told Edna, "Let's go find an old cafe in Paris, one the locals have mostly forgotten and the tourists never knew. We'll sit on the patio and drink. It will be absinthe to start, and we'll see where that takes us. Perhaps it'll lead to opium in a small, dark apartment, presided over by a thin Chinese man with a long mustache and longer braids, a man by the name of Lou. Before the night is over, we're shanghaied and fighting pirates somewhere on the China Sea. Everything is held in the twisted knot of doom and romance, and the sky always is littered with stars. Let's go there." Edna never stopped snoring. He said, "Let's go climb mountains and find the rare flowers that only grow on lost summits. Let's lure virgins into our bedroom and teach them all the pleasures. Let's rob banks and have shootouts with hero cops where somebody has to die." Edna drooled on her pillow. He said, "Let me love you." Edna farted and held tight to her dreams. And he gave up and slept, and the next day was like all the days. And some nights he watched her sleeping, and as she wandered her own hidden dreams, he told the most marvelous secrets and begged her to know him, even until his final breath. And Edna, a faithful widow, never tired of telling her friends how he was kind and sweet and a good provider. But oh, ladies, my God, ever so dull.
How it goes with some. Some go lost in the woods, with backpacks filled with last effects and stars, the living witness to whatever might happen in the secret going. Some go mad in front of television screens, or while drinking coffee in trendy restaurants, or better, in greasy dives of unremarkable towns nowhere near any other place. Some go racing through streets lit by neon promises that never come true. Some disappear into bottles or the pages of books that will go unread forever. Some go up in acetylene glory, and some dissolve on couches in living rooms like your own. And everything is hard until it is over, but eventually everything is.
This is a poem in 4 short parts. It's called Lucy Love. 1. I asked her if she didn't know better than to take rides from strange men. She asked me how strange I was and gave me that look, the one I would come to know and fear. Her name was Lucy, and I asked where she was heading. Just up the road, she told me, at the fork. Whichever road you think might be the one. 2. Lucy parked at the end of the trail. It was just after 3 a.m. She had been driving for hours and was scared I was dead. The baby's screams kept her company in the constant rain. I managed a low moan and moved my arm. Lucy was too far gone to notice, but we talked about all of it the next day after the burial. 3. We were hungry after. Lucy, it wouldn't be light for a couple of hours. I couldn't stop crying. I wanted you, and I couldn't hide the tears. Lucy, ravenous, I say. The dark is best for hiding, but only deceives the wicked. I would give a life for one more chance. Lucy, never satisfied. 4. How often they killed you, bare-chested in empty houses, televisions thrown against walls, books unread and forgotten, always one more night to survive. This will never end, except with tearful reunions in green fields.
And Lucy again, this one's called Lucy's Glory Days. She was fishy, like a flapper out of bathtub gin. Got left at the 5 and dime with only pennies. But marks are easy if you know the right play, and she did. Everything rattled where she was. That was the problem. No one knew the cause. Life tasted better when the years were lighter on her skin. There was no doubt. But there was still time to kill. She slipped a harmonica into her purse and found a corner to put out the hat. She couldn't play music, just blew out the stars in her head. By dinner time, she had $8 and a new lover with a limp. 6 months later, she was working at a convenience store in Birmingham and couldn't remember his name. The sunsets were pretty there, and in a town like that, the next man she left behind just might stay dead.
After everything else happened. Sometime later, the sky opened. Things fell upon us, upon the streets and houses, upon the cars and movie theaters, upon the old women with canes and their idiot husbands. Sometime later, the sky opened. Things fell upon the bicycle riders and acrobats, upon the prostitutes and police officers, upon the destitute and dying, and the beautiful girls with auburn hair, and the brave young men with flowers. Things fell, crushing those objects you might imagine they would crush. Even dogs and children. Not cats, of course, for cats are wise and adept at vanishing. But it was unspeakable, this crushing, so I can't comment on what they were, these things that fell upon us, that crushed us. But sometime later, the sky opened, it did, and things fell upon us, and things fell and fell and fell. And I was not sad, because I knew it was coming. And I am, after all, a man, and I do not give in to sorrow. I will miss you, though, beautiful one. I will miss you most of all. I will miss you like my own blood amid this wasted splendor.
Last one. This is called The Next Bohemians. Unknown poets in small rooms, apartment houses not yet built. Some will be beautiful, with chewed nails on delicate fingers, wild hair filled with magic, darting black eyes. And they will know the same stars in the same black sky, with everything left to be written by them and all who come after, when they have become dust, as did we, long since and forgotten.
All right, last one. It's called Last Call. We have been done to death in midnight bars of stale beer and cigarettes, the lot of us propped up by neon when we needed the moon. Shortchanged by truth and hope scratched from lies, we played ourselves like nickels in a familiar jukebox. We of the tribe, all heartsick and laughing, done in by absent love and slender chance, by friends lost to bad faith or no faith, death, bad jobs, bad marriages, or no reason at all. We of the tribe, drifting, and done to death in midnight bars. We who would live forever, like everyone you ever knew. I raise my glass to us all.